Well, hello and welcome to Eval's Halloween Special Part 3. I'm going to be working on some more of my garrison decorations. So far I've got the creepy crawlies and I've turned all of my guards into skeletons and ghosts, which is kind of fun. I'm just going to quickly pop over to the training dummies and give the old Halloween boss a quick poke. I don't think I'm going to get anything more worthy from her, but it's always worth a go anyway. Oops! Tree! Ah, I love collision meshes. Oh dear, killing all the pets as well at the same time. I'll have a look at those in a second actually. After the last stream, I decided to do a bit of pet battling and to gather all of the pets that are available in the garrison. There's 3 of them. You get a kind of maggot, there's one running past there. There's also a ghostly rat, and there's a spider, of course. Now I'm not much of a pet battler, so I decided to do that offline, but it was really easy to defeat the pets. In most cases I managed to do it without even my first pet dying, and I was using the corgi from the Molten Core event. So I'll just have a quick look through those for those kind of people who are interested in the pets, see what kind of stats and spells that they've got. And what I've done is I made a team up of the new garrison pets that are available. So first of all we got the ghastly rat. He's got bone bite, which is just your standard attack. A sticky web. Oh, this isn't a ghastly rat, it's a spectral spider, silly me. Sticky web, usual thing, does damage and stops your opponent escaping from the ring until time's up. Leech life hits the enemy and takes damage. Consume basically heals you up again when you do damage. Blinding poison, which is quite nice. You both blind, which presumably reduces the hit chance of your opponent and poisons them to do damage. And if you've poisoned them and blinded them, then you can use spectral strike, which always hits if the opponent is blinded. So that's quite nice. All of the new garrison pets are undead, of course. So we've also got the rat. He's got a fairly standard charge flurry attack. Swarm of flies, which does a dot crouch, which is kind of reduces the damage taken for 3 rounds, which is quite nice. Consume again, you basically are healed for all of the damage you do to your opponent. Rabid strike deals a whole bunch of damage and makes your pet rabid for 3 rounds, where they do additional damage. And finally ghostly bite, which does a whole load of damage and stuns your opponent. And then finally we've got the ghost maggot, who does a basic melee style attack. Stench, which is kind of like the squirrel's debuff, which reduces your your opponent's chance to hit by 25%. Survival, basically this works the same as with cockroaches, where you can't effectively be killed for 1 round, which is quite nice against other things like roaches that have like apocalypses, where basically everything is killed in the game ring. Absorb is pretty much the same as the other undead pets. You do a load of damage and then receive that back as health. Plagued blood does a bunch of damage, and then every time that you hit your opponent for the next 5 rounds you're healed. And finally ghostly bite, again a whole load of damage and a stun. So those are quite nice. The pets themselves are available as rares and uncommons, so I went through and did a load of killing and tried to get as many least uncommon as possible. I'm not sure about how all these stats work. I'm sure you pet experts out there will understand it rather more than me. So there you go, grab your holiday pets whilst Halloween's on, because I'm pretty sure you won't get another chance until next year. Okie dokie, so what I'm going to do is quickly pick up the dailies again, whiz through them as fast as I can, and get my next garrison decoration.
Ancestors, forgive us. Do what must be done.
I think this time round what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get the pumpkins and stuff, because the other two decorations I got really don't kind of change the look of your garrison that much. I mean, you have to kind of pick out your sentinels or whatever your garrison guards are called to actually see whether they've been affected or not. And the spider thing is basically you just get that boss at the back and the tiny little pets. Though it's quite nice to get that early on if you want to get all the pets as rares, because obviously it's a random chance that you'll get the rares that you want. So you might have to take several days or several evenings rather of playing to get the rares to actually spawn into your garrison. Hopefully if I go for the pumpkin decoration, I should see a fairly radical change in the way my garrison appears. So we're going to go and kill some pumpkins, destroy some fertilizer, kill the captain and a bunch of crews again today. It would be nice if there was a quick way of getting down there, but I suppose it only takes a couple of minutes to fly over Shadowmoon Valley. Look at the beautiful scenery as we go. It's orc time again. That fog's a bit weird how it changes so suddenly. Whoa! First it was foggy and then it wasn't. Oh, I better set my pet to aggressive. I was raiding last night, so unfortunately he's still on those settings that he was left on before. That was quite a nice raid. It is social, so we only do like 4 hours a week on the raid. We haven't got as far as many of you, probably in proper raiding guilds. But I was still quite pleased at our progress. We've only been doing heroic for 2 weeks now, and we've managed to get our way up to Zukoth, I think, the weapon master. Despite a load of us being undergeared and stuff, which I think is quite nice progress. Oh, spawn rate seems to have gone a bit slow. I got a nice pair of gloves and a cloak upgrade from
I'm out of range.
it, which was pretty nice. Unfortunately, I haven't managed to get lucky rolls yet on any of the tier set. I've heard the tier stuff is really good, especially if you're a marksmanship hunt. I generally like playing Beast Mastery just because it's a bit more fun than marksmanship. Marksmanship just feels really slow and dull to play. Since I'm running a social in my... No one's really worried in our social runs about people having the absolute max DPS, and Beast Mastery is about 2000 DPS less than marksmanship. And since I've always really played the hunter class for the kind of for the pets and stuff, it seems a bit silly to me to have a pet-based class and then basically play a spec that doesn't actually require you to have your pet out. But that's just me and a lot of hunters who just are into sort of the archery side of things and not into their pets. I actually really liked it in the olden days where you had to put quite a lot of effort into getting all the spells from your pets and getting them up. I can understand why Blizzard made it so simple to get your pets maxed out. In fact, basically as soon as you tame them they become your level. Back in the day you used to have to do things like feed your pet to keep it happy. Let's get my objectives up. I need 3 more of those pumpkins, everything else is done, and Captain Bone Render. A lot of people were patient and didn't like having to spend several hours or days levelling up their pet again. Every time you maintained a new one. I also like the way that you had to go around. If you wanted to get a specific skill on your pet, you used to have to go around and actually tame pets who had that skill before you could teach it to any existing pet that you had. It sort of gave you quite a nice sort of additional bit of gameplay if you were a hunter to improve your character, which you couldn't do on other classes. And one more pumpkin required. There we go, that'll do. And finally over to the boat again to kill the captain. It's very quiet today, but hopefully there'll be plenty of people doing them, so it won't be too difficult to kill. Oh, it doesn't look like he's been pulled yet. Shall I wait for some other people to turn up? Oh, I can probably find I'm a hunter, I can do anything. Fall off the boat. Straightforward stuff. I'm not in combat, let me get up. Actually, I think rather than flying all the way back, which is kind of dark, let's just plonk ourselves down here. And use the garrison hearthstone. Ooh. Okay, so I said that I was going to get the pumpkins to make my garrison look a bit more Halloween-y, because I think at the moment, really, you can't tell it's Halloween unless you just happen to notice one of these peeps wandering around in their ghostly form or their skeleton form. So I'll hand in my quest.
Keep it real. Glad I could help. Hurry's back. If you ever need anything.
Right, which one's the punch? There, the pumpkins. Hallows glow. Pumpkins, candles, and all the other decor. Right.
Be good.
Scroll out a bit and see if that changes my garrison immediately. It's a candly looking thing, isn't it? Oh, there we go. A pumpkin. Takes a little while for it to fade in. There we go. At least it looks like it's Halloween now in my garrison. It's rather better. Let's go and have a look inside the town hall and see what differences that's made. That's not too bad, yeah. I think that's an improvement over some of the other decorations. Wow, what's Harold Jamby doing? Oh, ooh. Spooky ghosts haunting my town hall. So yeah, my mission table's looking a lot more festive now. Cool. Right then, I suppose I really should head over to Stormwind. Which I don't know why I'm doing that. Where's my cloak of coordination? And quickly do the easy quest for the tricky treats outside Stormwind. I'm slowly working my way towards getting a Deathwing costume. It should probably take most of the holiday to get. What I intend doing is I've got a mage who I'm going to use to go and visit all of the tricky treat buckets again. Sorry, the candy buckets again. Get tricky treats for buying the one pet that I don't have, because I've worked out that I'm not going to be able to get the costume for Deathwing and I think it's the Binan pet at the same time. If I do it on the mage, it'll be a whole lot quicker because you can obviously teleport around all over the place.
How are you? Safe travels. Have a good one.
Oh, and I suppose I really should queue up for the dungeon as well, because I'll get more tricky treats from that. One of these I don't want to do because it's
Get
just too
gabbing or get
time-consuming. Yeah, I'll do that one.
Keep your chin up, eh?
That gives a nice XP and rep buff, as I mentioned yesterday.
What can I do for you? Good
And I
day.
get a single tricky treat, mind you, I don't suppose it was really that difficult. So let's fly our way up to Undercity. Bombs away! I'm still surprised that Trollbane doesn't have a witch's hat like all the other statues, but I guess Blizzard have their reasons.
Not ready yet.
And welcome to one of the most deserted
That
places on
area isn't ready.
the Silver Moon server, the Horde City of Undercity.
I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet.
It's all a bit sad really, but who'd want to live here? I mean, it kind of looks like a slightly upmarket sewer. Let's see if we can make some of the NPCs stinky. I can't shoot up there. It looks like someone else has been aiming for them as well, by the looks of things.
I can't do that yet.
Oh, I see a Horde to see if I can hit next time.
That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet.
Halfway there.
Not ready yet.
Luckily I think this just keeps on going indefinitely until you hit the return to Stormwind button. I remember back in the bad old days where you basically had to get all 25 done all in one go, or else you had to do the flight all over again from the beginning. 19, 20,
I can't do that yet.
21,
That ability isn't ready yet.
and 23, just two more.
It is too far away.
Oh, do come on. Okay, we're done. Let's head back to Stormwind.
Hey there. See you around.
And let's quickly head into Stormwind and make sure we clean up all the stinky stink bombs that the Horde have dropped in our city. I want to keep Stormwind nice and clean. Well, as much as we can. There's still a little bit over here that's a complete mess from when Deathwing last visited. I do hope one day they actually fix the park. It was one of my favourite areas, but unfortunately for about the last 5 years or so it's been a horrible wreck. I have to say those cleaning up icons that or the graphics they use look terribly scary. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. It's kind of nasty purple warlocky spell sucking the stink bombs into oblivion. All I can say is I assume the spell is safe and we're not ripping some hideous transdimensional wormhole in Azeroth, letting various nastiness into or out of our reality. Probably some perfectly innocent task like this that ended up with Draenor being invaded by Archimond and his buddies. Some kind of evil cosmic vacuum cleaner. Oh, I got myself stinkified, I went too close. See if there are any over here. Seem to have run out by the cathedral. Not quite sure why these are marked as quest areas if there are no stink bombs let off down here. And obviously other people are doing the quest and using up all of the stinky stink bombs. Wow, clearly the Alliance are so good at keeping Stormwind clean. There's no work for me to do. Oh, there's some over there. I think someone else is doing... No, they're just guards running around. I do hope I'm actually going to be able to get enough tricky treats. I only need 2 more to get the pet that I'm missing. Unfortunately that's 52 more to get the costume. I need to sit down and do a bit of maths and work out if it's actually possible to get the costume on Amelia. I do hope it is. Get one out so I'm not in everyone's way. So yeah, it's the Cursed Burman that I want. Who's 150, but I also want the Deathwing Exquisite Costume set, which is 200. I think that's really going to be a tight call, to be honest with you. Anyway, let's quickly jump into the dungeon and hopefully we'll get a nice bunch of tricky treats in the spooky loot sack. So there's the tank. Table Lamp is our tank. What an interesting name.
It is over. Your search is done. Let fate choose now. The righteous one.
That spell isn't I don't have
Fit
time.
and pure. Now your blackened souls are pure.
DPS seems a little bit slow. Oh, it was a good idea.
Fit and pure. Now your blackened souls are pure.
Some folks spamming arcane shot a bit too much.
Soldiers arise. Stand and fight. Bring victory at last. Bring victory at last to this fallen knight.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Now it's fairly straightforward.
Adventure lies in store.
Try and find a body to loot. Crappy ring I don't want. Okay, out we go again. Okay, well, I got 6 tricky treats from that. I can't complain too much. And a lovely troll mask. Oh, they don't seem to get used up. Anyway, that's what the masks look like. They're kind of like these fake papery things that sit in front of your character's head. I don't know if they're really that brilliant, but I suppose they're meant to be a bit kind of shonky, a bit sort of low rent.
Prepare yourselves.
Aha.
The bells have
And
tolled.
it looks like the Headless Horseman's just turning up in
Each
Goldshire.
of you shall pay the final sum. Cry for mercy. The reckoning has come.
How many people are there down here? Doesn't look like very many. This might be kind of tricky.
I need to get closer.
I hope there's going to be... Oh, better pick up the quest.
Good day to you. Have a good one.
I really should get Schrodinger to go somewhere else. Kind of getting in my way. Well, it's nice the guard's helping out, but I'm not sure she's that useful. I am only seeing 2 or 3 people do this, so there's a good chance we might not be able to put all the fires out in time. I guess because Halloween's such an old event these days, most people don't really want the tricky treats. What's going on up there? There's people fighting it.
Gammon will save us.
I don't think it's actually possible to hit the Headless Horseman during this event, actually. You're quite welcome to try up there. I guess some people are having a little duel up there. Not quite sure, but why. But Goldshire is rather popular with people who want a duel. I suppose it's probably because you can't duel inside the cities particularly. And it's reasonably easy to get to regardless of what level you are.
The sky is dark. The fire burns. You strive in vain as fate's wheel turns.
Yeah, I think they could have... It would have been nice if they halved the length of the duration of this event. It does rather sort of drag on a bit after you've had the first bit of fun.
I, Gammon, will save us. Now feel the burn!
It does look like we are being effective. Oh, I don't know, look at the side of the building here, that's really burning. There's a little bit of fire on the back of the blacksmiths as well. I better come back and do that. It would rather help if people weren't all showing how big amounts they've got. Ah no, wasted bucket. I think there should be one more verse and then the event's over and done with, hopefully. But it looks like we've done a pretty good job today.
My flames have died, left not a spark.
Sweet.
I shall send you myself to the lightless dark.
Reasonably painless. Right, where's the fucking going to land?
You need something? Safe travels. See you
So
later.
I just wonder how I get one tricky treat from that. Presumably from... Oh, I don't get any from there, but I do get another a handful of treats and 2 more. So you could generally get between 1 and 3 treats from the handful of treats. So theoretically, you can get up to 4 tricky treats from that event. I might go and check to see if it's actually possible to redo it in other places. The problem is, like we experienced on the first day, places like Kranos and almost certainly Dionysus are so quiet that there won't be enough players there to actually fulfill the quest. I'm pretty sure you can't do it with 1 person, probably need a minimum of 3 or 4 to actually successfully beat the Headless Horseman. So even though there's possibly another 4 tricky treat tokens available, chances of actually getting them is fairly low without multiple attempts, and I'm pretty sure most people watching the stream or the video don't want to see that, which would be understandable. Did I fail to clean up all the stink bombs? I did indeed. Never mind, there's one just there.
Hello. Have a good
Another
one.
3 tricky treats from that. Okay, so I've got 160 today. I think there's another 5 days of the events left. Let's have a look in the calendar. When's the end date? Oh, okay, no, we've got another 12 days to go. Sorry, yeah, 11 days to go, sorry. So yeah, I might be able to get the other costume. Cool. Okay, well thanks very much for watching day 3 of my Halloween specials. If you liked it, like it. If you want to see more, subscribe. Thank you very much for watching Evil stream again. Hopefully I shall see you again part 3 tomorrow. Bye-zy bye.
Till we meet again.